I just finished my first 24 hours in the Crystal Data Center after leaving Oceania, and oh my gosh, what a wild ride it has been. For those of you who are new to this channel, allow me to unpack that a little bit. As a new player to Final Fantasy XIV, I totally underestimated my interest in the community aspect when I first began my journey. Despite living in North America, I opted into playing in the Oceania server due to the XP boost given to new players. Originally, I had no interest in forming a community, and therefore was not bothered by the time difference. Well, fast forward over 100 days later, and I am realizing not only am I obsessed with this amazing Final Fantasy community, but the time difference is definitely starting to take a toll on my game progress. I released a video documenting my farewell to all of my FC friends in Oceania, shout out to the Glade FC, and officially made my pilgrimage to the Crystal Data Center. So today, I'm going to show you what the first 24 hours was like for a new player in Final Fantasy XIV Crystal Data Center. Welcome back to the channel, my nerds. I hope you're having a great day. Let's get into it. As soon as I load up into Gridania, I was met by a majestic display of magical pole users, each with their own aesthetic and glowing properties. To be honest, I have no idea what class that is, but the fact that they were so many players in unison in full display on the bridge was absolutely amazing. You may be thinking that this is a totally normal and anticlimactic moment, but in comparison to Oceania, my only frame of reference for Final Fantasy XIV, I have never seen so many players in the city before. I also heard rumors of the infamous Balmung server and just had to experience it for myself. I head to Ul'dah and again am surprised at how many people were online. I made a new friend, Shayna, who invited me to her amazing player home and got to see her Yojimbo Chocobo and got a tour of the inside. It was super cozy and had some amazing decor, such a cute little vibe until I met her unconscious husband who may or may not be her prisoner. I'm still investigating the matter, more to come on that. Shayna, if you are watching this, I'm on to you. Shayna then leads me to her FC house, which is even more amazing. It's fully decked out with a cafe, outdoor hot spring, and the coziest nook you can imagine. And as is tradition, I had to leave a special note in the house book. One of the issues I experienced in Oceania was the queue times. They were horrendous peak hours since they equated to 4 a.m. my time, and normally I'm asleep by then. This put a serious pause on my ability to experience dungeons and even in some cases progress through MSQ. So I was very eager to try a new hard trial, the World Eater, for the very first time, and to my amazement, I was able to start this instance with Shayna in 3 minutes. I felt like a little kid on Christmas. Also, apparently in North American servers, it's super common to have quote-unquote false starts with AFK players, so that was a first experience. I was able to experience Leviathan synced for the very first time, and wow, what an amazing fight it was. I love the boss arena and the cutscenes. The boss AoEs were hectic and made the fight rewarding. Would love to try healer on this instance one day once I work up enough courage. The boss reminded me of some fights in Final Fantasy X actually, and after a while we got to fold Leviathan, got the clear on our very first try. I felt super proud of this. I also have never done an unsynced fight before, so we decided to go back and spank Leviathan's butt back into the water hole he came from. Super satisfying. In fact, I did literally nothing in that fight except grab popcorn as Shayna beat him like the lowlife he is. I then make another new friend, Elilon, who convinced me to tank in the hard version of SASTASHA, a dungeon that I have been avoiding. I cave to the peer pressure and switch into my incredibly horrendous warrior armor. Ta-da! I got folded several times as tank, but my party made it through and we eventually got the clear. I also learned that tanks shouldn't normally use limit break, something that I had been doing quite often as a tank. I was on a roll, so I queued up again for another hard dungeon, the Sunken Temple of Karn. I think I did better as tank, but my gosh, those enemies were something out of a fever dream. especially that zombie boss mechanic during the last fight. Back in Limsa, I see a really cool cat guy, so I pop a squat next to him. I attempted to make Hachiman my friend, but may have come across a bit strange. Oh, and speaking of strange, I met Geralt of Rivia's bald cousin Geralt, who refused me a Dragoon relic because I was missing some savage materia. I breathed down his neck to show my displeasure and my dominance. I'm telling you, my first day had so much momentum. I was clearing up all the stuff lagging behind my to-do list, like this amazing unicorn mount that I have been really wanting to get. Also, forgive my lack of clothes. I didn't have any conjurer armor to initiate the quest, so I went in with nothing but a shield, and it gave me a chance to air myself out after all that questing.
Yeah, boy.
And of course, I got to show off my new unicorn to everyone. I felt so proud to be the owner of this beautiful white steed, until I saw Shayna's majestic beast that I am now obsessed with. If anyone wants to help me farm it, let me know. I'll definitely take your help. Then I went ahead and ran another dungeon for the first time, the Wanderer's Palace, and got another clear. I even used Limit Break correctly and looked so freaking cool doing it as Samurai. The dungeon was very fun, great enemy designs and bosses, but holy crap, that ending caught me off guard when all the Tonberries pulled out knives and started shanking the boss in mob fashion. I mean, I'm totally on the Tonberry side after they were in prison, but dude, that really caught me off guard. Back in Limsa, I decided it was time to spend all those recently acquired tomes and upgrade my incredibly ugly warrior armor. Although I'm not sure how I feel about the new set either. I kind of look like a trash can from Tron.
Now this I can do.
Nonetheless, I try and tank on the Praetorium after all the fast queues were absolutely spoiling me. I informed my party of my newness, and apparently my armor made it incredibly obvious that this was indeed my first time. I hate you, Tron trash can armor. But whatever, I got the dub and cleared it on the first time as a tank, despite looking atrocious. But you know what isn't atrocious? These amazing custom hoodies that you can buy to support this channel. The link is in the description, and while you're at it, you should totally subscribe to my channel because apparently 97% of my viewers are not subbed, and I would love if we could change that. So yeah, subscribe, you nerd. Anyways, back to my first 24 hours in Crystal. Oh, and I also learned that this bearded child is evil. I'm surprised his minions can look up to him. Dad joke. Next, I got to experience Ul'dah in its true glory. Literally, I have never seen so many players in Final Fantasy XIV. I was losing frames, man. It was nuts. Oh, and I found autism in Ul'dah.
You serious?
I had one last trial that I was itching to clear. RAMUH on hard. I asked this random guy in Limsa to join me, and he was totally down to help out the stranger. Shout out to the incredible Final Fantasy XIV community. The fight itself was amazing, and I loved the moveset of RAMUH. I went in blind, as always, so I wasn't prepared for how hectic the fight got. He definitely folded me a couple times with those lightning moves. The boss music theme was definitely on point, and the team and I eventually got the clear, and I was able to kill that old musty man.
Fatality.
To end my very first day in Crystal, I decided to use my first Fantasia and adjust my appearance. I tweaked some of my features, my hair, my eyes, and even my voice. Oh, and of course, I made myself taller so that those Elazen people can stop looking down on me with their judgy self-pride.
Why are you the way that you are, honestly?
I was curious to know what others thought of my new looks, so I asked a bunch of randoms their thoughts. One guy said I looked too angry and that I needed to, in quotes, keep calm, dude, peace and love. I'm not really sure what that means. I decided to get a few more opinions, so I asked a bearded guy what he thought of my new face, and he gave me a solid 8. Hey, I'll take it. I tried asking this dragon girl what she thought, but I think my good looks intimidated her and she was at a loss for words. She just stared at me with intensity, so I left sheepishly. But this cat boy's response was definitely my favorite. I asked him what he thought of my new face, and he responded with, "Huh? I don't know you. Who are you?"
Who are you?
I freaking love messing with people. I end my night by dancing to a bard playing the Mario theme in Limsa. I dance and clap the night away as I realize that this is my life now. I am a complete weeb and I am totally embracing it. I'm so glad that I made the move to Crystal. It's a totally different world compared to Oceania. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed my first 24 hours in the North American Crystal servers. As always, if you have suggestions, leave them in the comments below. And always, stay nerdy, and until next time, bye.